So exchange rate determination, it carries a very, very essential, or it has a very, very essential hand in determining the financial strength of any countries, right? So every nation, small or big, it is very, very concerned about how is its currency performing in the market. So because it's a kind of trading which happens in the world market, right? It is when you're dealing with forex market, this popularly which is referred to as forex, and it is a conversion of one country's currency to that of another, and it is the minimum number of unit of one country which required to purchase the currency of another country. So if for instance I have certain amount of currency in my hand, so do my currency has that power in order to purchase another international currency? If so, again, do I have to spend more in order to gain that international currency, or do I have to spend less in order to gain that international currency? So that is all about the factors when you are dealing with a forex market. So if you land up with paying more in order to buy the same currency, then you can say that your currency value had depreciated, right? But if you land up with paying less in order to get that same currency, then you can say that your currency value has appreciated or increased. So this is basically the fundamental in terms of dealing with the forex market. So here we are dealing with FX market where currencies are traded, and world's largest major popular currencies you will find in this. One of the most liquid market in the world with an average trade value which exceeds $1.9 trillion per day. And for that reason, every country wants to hold currency in the form of forex reserves. As of date, as of now, what is the India's forex reserves? Can anyone tell me? What is the total forex reserves of India as of today? Finance exchequer wale, every day you might have dealing with this. What is the forex reserves as for today?
Dollar five
Hmm?
billion. Dollar 550 billion.
How much?
$580.3 billion as of March.
billion.
Yes, 580.5 billion
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
dollar, right? So that is what is the total foreign reserves which India is having as of now. So tell me, why is that essentially countries wants to hold money in the form of forex, in the form of foreign currency? So if you talk about your exchange rate, particularly, there is a very simple calculation of exchange rate. So exchange rate is the amount spent divided by the value of the home currency. So if I want to find out the exchange rate of the US dollar to INR, so how much amount I'm spending to buy, if I took up on a rate of 75, how much I'm spending? 75 INR, right? So exchange rate of US dollar to INR is, I'm spending 75 INR. What is the value of the base currency, which is US home currency? $1, right? So the exchange rate of USD, that is to $1 INR, is 75 by 1, which is equal to, what is the exchange rate? 75, you are spending $1. $1 you are spending to get how much? So this is what this you can call it as a direct quotation of measuring exchange rate. So direct quotation of measuring exchange rate. $1 expressed in how much INR. Similarly, exchange rate can also operate in an indirect quotation. So I will take you through a very, very interesting sites in terms of understanding how exchange rate is determined. But before that, give me an answer that why is that essentially countries want to hold currency in the form of exchange rate? Yes. Why is that countries want to hold currencies in the form of forex exchange? What is the purpose? You are saying $508 billion if our country is holding. Essentially, why is it so? Yes, Subra?
Ma'am, a country is holding for FX reserve to maintain their position in the foreign market,
Okay.
to maintain the power. Like China and US, they are the superpowers. So maintain the position. That's why I think. Ma'am, actually, I had a question also.
Okay. Let me take the answer.
Uh,
I know
sir.
what is your question going to be. Just wait, just have a patience because the question I can take up that how is that question framed up. I can show you the solution. Okay, what is the question?
Ma'am, why is US dollars valued so much? Like why we measure everything in US dollars?
I have that answer. Just wait a minute. Yes. Ankita, what is your answer to that?
Ma'am, foreign exchange reserves help us to earn profit as well through speculations. Like, ma'am, when the amount will increase, we will earn some kind of profit through them. And also, ma'am, to conduct import and export, we need foreign exchange reserves.
Okay.
It helps the strengthening the currency of the country as well.
That is what also Shubhra mentioned. You gain strength. You get to know what is your financial power with your forex reserves.
Yes, ma'am.
Through this reserve, ma'am, through this reserve, if India wants to take a loan from a World Bank or any major bank, by seeing their currency reserve, they can give the loan easily, and they observe that company is in a more powerful and a better position. They can take a help from other companies, part of any
Just
defense
one
activity.
more suggestion I have. See, don't restrict yourself to company, because here we are talking about economy, right? So, a company ka power ho jayega, to it is not that it is going to have to be more powerful. A company ke paas agar currency aa gaya, to that doesn't mean that the economy is powerful. So here we are talking about, the question was, what will be the benefit or what is going to be the major point of action if a country has more, not a company. I'm not talking about company. If a country, if an economy has more amount of forex reserves.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I said, ma'am. Suppose if any country give their forex reserve as a value, so if any country wants to take a loan from World Bank, they will see the how much reserve they have, and in any defense activity also, if they want to purchase any big missiles or any jet planes or any fighter planes, by seeing their reserve, they can give affordably easily. Means they know that the company, the country can afford easily by seeing their reserve, by seeing their economic background of the country.
Okay, so that is again the financial strength, economic background of the determines the economic strength or financial background of that specific country. That is why you require forex exchange reserves.
Yes, ma'am.
Again,
Yes, ma'am.
again, anything else? And particularly when you hold forex reserves, every country, they want to hold it in the form of certain powerful currencies, right? And these are typically held in the form of SDRs. So what are these SDRs? SDRs are certain, any idea about what are SDR? SDRs are certain special drawing rights. These are nothing but this contain a certain basket of currencies. Every country, they have certain basket of currencies. And this basket of currencies may comprise of US dollar, UK pound, German franc, Chinese yuan, Japanese yen. So basically countries want to hold currencies in the form of those currencies which are powerful, which are considered to be powerful. And how, the question which Shweta asks, how do you know that currency is powerful? What are the basis measurement of its power? So again,
Ma'am,
huh?
actually, ma'am, apart from the what Subhra asked the question, I read somewhere else earlier that why US dollar is more powerful, because the World Bank is totally operated by the US only. They are the establisher of the World Bank. That's why US dollar is a more powerful currency, I think. I read somewhere, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, isn't pound more stronger than dollar? Pound has a higher value than dollar.
I'll just answer your question. Just wait a minute. I'll just answer your question, and there is a solution to all your questions. Okay. So in that sense, when you say we are dealing with Forex market, so there is, as such, there is no central marketplace for the currency market. And these are typically conducted over the counter, OTC. So for that matter, OTC is what? It is a kind of transaction which carries out with the process of either it is through a mediator or it is not. So all your currency, either it is currency market or stock market, derivative market, commodity market, they are all dealt with over the counter. And this market, it operates completely 24/7, functionally 5 days a week, and currencies are traded worldwide amongst the major financial centers of the world, typically in London, New York, Tokyo, Zurich, Frankfurt, Hong Kong, Singapore, Paris, Sydney. So these are the major financial hubs of where which deals with your Forex reserves. So this Forex is the largest market in the world in terms of the total cash traded, and this can be traded by any person or firm or a country might participate in this market. Now let us have a look about how this market operates and how do you get a conversion in terms of its understanding as far as the operation of the Forex market. So can you see this, all of you? So if I look into the conversion in terms of US dollar to INR, so I have many options in terms of converting. There are all essentially all the currencies, countries' currency you will find over here. So for instance, let me take up that US dollar, convert into INR. So this will show you the rates as of now, which is currently existing in the market, right? So if I look into time being 11:46, 23rd of April, currently the INR value, we start with how much? 74.93. Yesterday, while I was taking the class with section D people, by the time I closed, it has already touched 76. When I opened, it was less than 70, closely to 74. So essentially, when you see that, when the Forex market is being determined and the conversion rates, this is something we can call it as the spot rate. This one, you can call it as this, why it is not. This is your spot rate, right? So what is this spot rate? Spot rate are nothing but it is the rate at which, can you see again now what is the spot rate? The spot rate now becomes 74.94, right? So currently whatever rate is existing in the market, that is what you call it as your spot rate or the current rate. This is your direct quotation of measuring exchange rate. Amount spent by the value of the home currency. $1 is equal to 74.94 as of now. This is a direct quotation. In the Forex market, indirect quotation is also calculated. So indirect quotation is just the reverse. 1 INR is equal to how much of US dollar? So what do? You divide 1 by the amount, which is 74.94. So you get this value. So there are two ways of expression of calculation of exchange rate. So exchange rate can have a direct quotation as well as an indirect quotation in terms of its calculation. Clear? So for that matter, now let us take that how do countries trade or how do individuals trade in terms of the fixation? Either it is at spot rate or you can term something as called as your forward rate. So typically countries can operate in two forms. One is your spot rate, another is your forward rate. So let me give you a case. Suppose when you travel, in case of your travel, when you buy a ticket at the spot rate, at the current rate, what do you end up with? You end up with the rate which is existing currently. If you buy an airline ticket, you are ready to pay the highest possible price of that time, right? So in that sense, you are buying at what rate? You are buying at the spot rate, irrespective of the fact that either the price is high or low, right? But on the other hand, suppose you have pre-booked your ticket at a time when the price was the lowest, but you defer your travel or you schedule your travel at a very certain date, which is 3 months or 4 months later the time period. You do so. So 3 months after, even if the price has increased, would it affect you? Because you have
No, ma'am.
booked your ticket, you have purchased it when the price was relatively low, right? Similarly, the traders, those who are dealing with the Forex market, for example, if I take the rate right now to be 74.96, and Ankita mentioned that speculation. Yes, speculation is a very, very essential component which is required to understand in terms of your Forex dealings. So if you have a speculative powers, speculative in the sense that if you speculate, either your exchange rate is going to increase or it is going to decrease. So if, for instance, if I speculate that my value will increase further from 74.97, let's take to 76. If I expect that, so in that sense, if I expect that my value will increase from 74.97 to 77, right? Now tell me, suppose I'm having $100 with me. So for me, will it be better to buy or sell? Let's take first of all with buy. Should I buy when the rate is 74.97 or should I buy when the rate becomes 77?
And when the rate is less, we should buy it.
Buy at 74.
Ma'am, when the rate is 77.
When should I buy?
When the
Buy
rate is
at
less,
74 and sell at 77.
at
Ma'am, at
74.
rate 77.
Okay, so those who, why Ankita, you're saying when it is 77, I should buy?
Ma'am, because if I have $100 and the amount is something 77.12, then I can buy goods worth rupees 7,712 rupees.
No, I'm
But
not
if
talking
I
about
will,
goods. I'm not talking about goods. I'm talking about buying dollars or selling dollars. I'm not talking about goods at all. So my question is, when the rate is 74.96, now it has changed to 96. When the rate is 74.96, should I buy at this rate? Or if I expect that the rate will be 77, I should buy at this rate.
Ma'am, now at this rate, 74.
I should buy at this rate. Why do you say?
I have to pay less to get more dollars.
Exactly. I have to pay less to get more dollars. So this is the best. If the rates are low, it is the best time to buy. If I want to sell dollars, the same $100 I'm having, I want to sell that, right? So if I have a forecasting power that tomorrow the dollar value, if they are touching 77, then at that time, I should sell it. Right? So when the rates are 77, I should sell it so that I can gain more. I can get more value of my dollars. So this is exactly how it operates. This is number one. Number two, let's take I'm a trader and I have to trade in bulk, right? So here in the first case, I am an individual. So if I am trading at the spot rate, then you see that either it is 74 or 75, the loss is mine, the gain is mine as an individual. But a trader who trade in bulk, right? So is that convincing for him to trade at the spot rate?
No, ma'am.
For a trader, those who trade in bulk, will it be convincing for him to trade at bulk? Sorry, to trade at the spot rate? No. Why no? Why no?
Ma'am, because the change in the amount, like in the spot rate, we know that the spot rate changes. So if the prices will change, I will face huge losses.
Yes. So
Like-
in order to check that, always the traders, they go for what they tend to follow a hedging phenomenon. Yesterday this was working in this site. I don't know today they have blocked it or not. I could write in this page. So in this sense, they were able to go for a hedging phenomenon. So how do you hedge? As I was mentioning just before, you buying a ticket 3 months before and deferring your travel after that 3 months. So what do? You pay at a lower rate. Similarly, a trader who is trading in bulk, what he will do, he will be seeing when the prices are more convincing to him, right? So suppose we are importing crude oil, right? I'm a trader who am importing crude oil. The crude oil price is 64 per barrel. And I have to import, say, 50 barrels of crude oil. So in that sense, I'm buying crude oil. So as for now, I should buy when the rates are low, right? Right now we just fixed up. So as a trader, who now I'm importing crude oil worth of 50 barrels, right? In terms of that, I will choose a price when it is the lowest. So I will fix up my agreement. That is called as forward agreement. I will fix up my agreement when the rates are less than 74, right? Right? I will fix my agreement at the price when the rate is 74, but I can postpone my transaction for a period of 60 days, 90 days. So the deal is finally frozen. So forward agreement will be one in which at the settlement, the agreement will be done at a price when it is 74. So tomorrow, if the price changes to 77, but I will buy at what rate? I will buy at 74 rate. So that extra $3 increase, which would have happened if I expect that tomorrow the price again can further depreciate. So that extra $3 increase, that would not affect me, right? So that is what is a hedging factor is. Hedging is a safeguard mechanism, which is basically used by the traders, those who trade in bulk. So usually there are two kinds of rates in which you can trade. One is a spot rate, another is a forward rate. So spot rate will be the rate at which in case of spot rate, you have no hedging. Whatever rate, either it is high, it is your luck. If it is low, it is your luck, right? So that is what is a spot rated. But forward rate is completely based upon your speculative skills of the market. If you want to trade it more, you have to be sure of that what kind of pricing will be beneficial for you to the maximum. So you are freezing your contract at a certain date of time. Suppose tomorrow, today, 23rd of April, I freeze my contract of your crude oil import and I postpone my transaction. My transaction can happen within a period of 60 days, 190 days, or 120 days, right? I can postpone my transactions. But after 190 days, even if the price has further fallen, that would not affect me. So that is what is a forward contract or a forward rate is. Clear? Next question is, in terms of this, suppose if I am selling dollars, right? So will I get exactly 74.92, which you see right now? Will I exactly get 74.92 if I sell dollars? The value which you're just seeing in this code. Should I get the exactly the same amount? Yes or no? If I go to,
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
why no?
And because the rates are changing within seconds, like each second the rates are
Banks or intermediaries will charge some commission. That's
The rates are changing, even if the rates will follow. But why exactly? I will get more than this or less than this, tell me.
Less than this.
I will always get less than this. Why? If you look into the market, there are multiple sources. Those are dealing with the Forex. Your Exim Bank, RBI, there are certain commercial banks. You have in airport, you might have seen your money exchanger, right? Individuals, they also deal currencies. So ये सारा sources का सबका rate different होगा, right? बैंक का rate different होगा, RBI का rate different होगा, individual का rate different होगा, airport money exchanger rate will be different. And always I will get a price low than what is existing in the market. Why? Because there are certain costs associated with conversion. There is a conversion cost. There is a transmission cost. In case of individuals, there are brokerage costs, right? So that is why essentially if you look, if the market price at the spot rate currently is 74.92, I will be getting either 72 or 72.5. I will not get 74.92 exactly, right? So this is what are the intricacies which are involved in the Forex market. Okay, let us see another interesting thing. Yes, Ankita, what is your question?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have a doubt. Like as you said that the traders always go for forward rate. Ma'am, are there any transactions that happen in spot rate by
Yes, on
during the
emergency?
trading?
See, if I look into the case of your now the supply of oxygen, you might be seeing that many hospitals, yesterday Delhi ka wo incident, many hospitals, they were running dearth of oxygens, right? So in that sense, the supply of oxygen, which has created again a lot of use in the state, and your Prime Minister also has called up a different alternative how to produce oxygen, right? So in that sense, if recently it is an emergency, so we have to import oxygen cylinder, right? So we cannot depend upon spot rate, forward rate. So that will be at spot. So that is what is the essential of your emergency or requirement. Simple case मैंने airline का दिया ना. When you are in emergency only, you buy at spot rate. You book the ticket at spot rate. Otherwise, what do? You plan. Whenever you plan, what happens? You pre-book your tickets and you defer your travel. Similar case में, in emergency basis of trading, and there are many cases of strategic importance when you trade on emergency basis. So at that time, you have to deal with spot rate, whatever may be the rate. But usually traders, what I said, usually what they do, if they are in a necessary conditions in terms of hedging their risk, see, doing a forward rate is a simple mechanism of hedging your risk. That is why you go for a forward rate. So in that sense, you technically you use a forward contract. But essentially conditions, when you are under emergency, you are under requirement, you have to choose a spot rate. So it is not that we only tend to go for forward contracts. So there are basically two types of contracts broadly. But again, if I go deeper into the working of financing in IFM, I will go deeper into that. Swap rate, currency swap rate, forward maybe forward swap rate. There are other forms, spot rate ka bhi. So there are different further classification of those kind of deals which are existing in the market. But broadly, if I classify the contracts, there are forward as well as spot contracts where usually the agreements are being taken. Clear? So this interesting chart you can see right from April 2020 to April 2021. This has been the movement of our currency. Can you see how the currency value has changed? And the lowest was our currency was at a better position in the month of January 2021. Kyunki, could you just tell me any of the reason? What causes this change? Any of this reason?
Vaccines apply to US.
Yes.
Vaccines
Okay. Anything else?
And PPE kits and all to Spain.
Or
So exports were there, and so we they may have charged in INRs. So that's why.
Ma'am, supply of that vaccinations also
Vaccine.
at that time.
Vaccines.
In February and March, we can see that it was lowest. I mean, it was the lower line. So, ma'am, at that
lower
time
line, what does
only
that
our
indicate? The
country
lower
was
line, what
supplying
does that
vaccination.
indicate? Our currency has appreciated or
Yes,
depreciated?
Appreciated.
Here,
Appreciated.
appreciated, right? So currency has appreciated here because $1 was equivalent to say 72.9, 72.8, 72.7, 72.5, right? So that means I was paying less to get $1. But now, or in then, that is in the month of April, can you see the situation? It is the post-COVID, just when the COVID has hit it, first phase of COVID. Economy has gone for lockdown, disturbance in trade. Economy has created a huge loss. High interest rates in the market. At the time, interest rates was high. Interest rate dipped when? If you remember, interest rate dipped during the month of August, September, October. So essentially, from this graph, can you analyze what are the factors affecting exchange rate? From this only, okay, export and import. That is your trade.
It's not just export, it's about the uncertainties which is out there in the market. Now, as the COVID has, it's not about just the export, it's about the uncertainties that is out there in the market.
See, it is
now
also
the investors have
about
bought it.
export and import is also a factor. Is also
Yes,
a factor affecting exchange rate. Uncertainty is also a factor.
Ma'am, providing aids. Providing aids to other countries. Aids.
Okay. Okay. So that can be some of the factors. Okay. Anything else? Major factors. I just want to, this graph shows a major factor. You can make it out from this.
Ma'am, stability of economy.
Okay. Economic conditions. Right now you are seeing so many rallies, political kind of propagandas going on. So again, don't you think that is a factor again? Interesting factor.
Political factors.
Why this currencies fluctuate? Whenever there is a simple what is the fundamental reason?
Ma'am, huge supply
Demand
of
and
INR.
supply.
Yes,
Huge supply of INR.
that is what is the you have studied in micro. Demand and supply is a reason causing a change in prices of the goods and services. Similarly, when you are dealing with the currency factor, currency market, simple demand and supply of currency will affect it, right? So now we have to further analyze that what are the factors causing the change in the demand side? What are the factors causing a change in the supply side? So that will be the in-depth critical analysis of causing appreciation or depreciation of our currency, right? So in that sense, recessionary, inflationary situation is a factor. Changes in interest rates is a factor. Changes in the fiscal policies is a factor. Changes in the economic condition is a factor. COVID scenario is a factor. This political rallies, political conditions is a factor, right? A very interesting factor, let me highlight. Have you heard about a term called vaccine vacation? Yeah, vaccine vacation. People are going for vaccine vacation, and it has created an impact on exchange rate. How? There was a very, very interesting news just a day back. Some of the rich from India, they are traveling from India to Dubai,
Maldives, ma'am.
vaccinated.
Maldives. Maldives.
Maldives and
Maldives also, in Dubai also, for Pfizer. The vaccine cost is zero, absolutely zero, right? But the cost associated with the travel in terms of getting a jet airlines. So people are spending 35 lakhs for the jet and 20 days more stay. Why 20 days, 25 days more stay? To get the second dose of vaccine, right? So as a result, simple case, when people are traveling from India to Dubai, staying there for 20 to 25 days, so they have to spend in which currency? Dirham?
Dubai currency.
Dirham,
Dirham, right?
Dirham.
So in that sense, is it not increasing the demand for dirham? So the moment
yes, ma'am.
it increases the demand for dirham currencies appreciate.
Appreciate.
So travel, vaccine, this vaccine vacation, this term, don't you think it is a factor affecting my exchange rate?
Yes, ma'am.
If I have to buy dirham, then I have to sell my INR, no? So based upon the equation between dirham and your INR, I have to convert. Supply of INR will increase. And if supply of INR increase, my currency depreciates. So this is what is a very, very technical analysis. Initially, I went with the fundamental analysis, demand and supply. Then I moved deeper into this, breaking it further. What could be the essential factors increasing my demand? What could be my essential factors affecting my supply? And that is how you can see this graph can be a very, very essential understanding in terms of how my currency changes only for these two. So when I'm dealing with exchange rate, it has to be only within two countries, either US dollar with INR, US dollar with euros, US dollar with any other countries. Interesting thing, if you can see for euro. So $1 is equal to 0.83 euro right now. So which currency is powerful?
Euro.
Euro, because 1 euro can buy $1.2, right? More dollar. So euros are still more powerful. And this is what is the conversion. You can see in case of graph of India and graph of this, the fluctuation is pretty much stable. So when you say fluctuation, what does that see? Can you see another interesting data? 0.29, the volatility index. Last 30 days ka change, last 90 days ka change. This is the data for US Euro. If I look into your Indian case, the volatility is what? Relatively 0.36. higher, right?
Higher.
So what does, from this, what kind of understanding can you gain? What does volatility mean? Volatility in a currency market, what does that mean?
Change in the currency.
Change. Very good.
Change in the currency.
Change, fluctuation, right? To what extent the currency has been fluctuating? So the country whose currency is highly volatile in nature, we call them as soft currencies. Soft currency does not mean that the currency is physically soft, no. Soft currency refers to the nature of or the degree of volatility of that currency. To what extent that currency has a power to increase or fall. Certain countries, can you name few countries, those who have soft currencies? Or those,
Pakistan.
huh?
Pakistan.
Yes, Pakistan,
Bangladesh,
Bangladesh.
Nepal.
Bangladesh, Albania, then your Syria, Tanzania. So there are certain countries whose currencies are very, very fluctuating in nature. आज एक वैल्यू है, कल वो पूरा इधर से पूरा it will dip down.
And
Highly
basically, countries which have like crisis going on, or a war, or
is again a factor of, isn't it a factor affecting exchange rate?
Yes, ma'am.
The currency, the countries which are subject to high war, high political instability, their currency will be highly fluctuating in nature. Now from this, can you tell me that what is the risk of trading with this country's currency?
The prices of the items might fall drastically,
Yes,
or the
yes.
prices
Yes.
of the currency
Either
will
they
also fall
might
drastically.
rise very drastically or they might fall very drastically, right? So what is the danger of such currencies, trading with such currencies?
highly unstable.
Highly unstable.
Losses.
You can have, yes, you have a threat of loss, right? So in that
Ma'am,
sense,
but we can
how does government can then how they will run if their currency है, उनको तो अपना government चलाना पड़ेगा ना?
Ma'am, there can be a certain level up till which they can concede that loss, up below which they will not help,
Yes.
like that sort of.
Yes, very good. So in technical term, we call it as those countries whose currencies are highly volatile in nature, they will peg their currency. Peg means they will fix their currency at a certain rate. Suppose Bangladesh currency is falling drastically, they will fix a rate. Okay, even if it falls below this level, but we will consider this as the rate so that the country does not get maximum shocks. So this pegging the rate is acting as a shock absorber for that country, right? So we call it as a mechanism of fixed exchange rate or pegged exchange rate. So countries whose currencies are highly, highly volatile in nature, they have to go for an exchange rate which is fixed in nature, which is pegged in nature, right? So here volatility is a very, very essential instrument. You can see the data of 30 days, of 90 days, and volatility is a very essential instrument in terms of showing to what extent is my country currency pegging or is fluctuating or not. Okay, so can you this data, you can come up with a wonderful project, you know. इतना जो अभी with this small amount of figures and data, so much analysis can we do? Hankina, right? So wonderful project you can work and thereby having a complete understanding on how Forex work, thereby taking up all these concepts into integration. And you can also work as a this is a simulating mechanism, Forex exchange value. So you can work on this simulating mechanism as if how the market operates with taking data, and you want to have with any other country, you want to go for the conversion of Australian dollar to US dollar, see the rates, analyze this, what do that mean, study the changes. Can you now see the cases for Australian cases, the value was, their currency has appreciated during the month of April, but gradually they have depreciated in
Ma'am, can
terms
you
of.
please check the currency of China once?
Okay, yes, interesting. Yeah, I also wanted currency of China.
Ma'am, I had a question.
Hmm. So
Ma'am,
$1 to China. Let us see. Okay. My God, can you see the power of currency? Now $1, can you see in the market?
Yes, ma'am.
$1 is right now, currently $1 is equivalent to 6.49 Chinese yuan. If I take it the other way around, indirect quotation, the same thing. Either you get it as the direct quotation or the indirect quotation. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Chinese dollar has
Currency
become
of
more
China has
powerful
increased.
than
Uh-huh.
Chinese currency.
Valuation of Chinese currency has increased.
Appreciated.
Chinese currency has appreciated in
The
its
graph clearly shows that
value.
the Chinese dollar has appreciated or in terms of the currencies. So technically, what could be the reason for this? What could be
Ma'am,
the
COVID, ma'am, COVID.
US because in their currency, like they are supplying goods and
so
they
China,
are
the
asking.
reason which we stated that China now is trying to transact the conversion, it is asking to pay in yuan. So if it will pay in, if countries will, it is making it mandatory, compulsory. So if it made it mandatory, compulsory to pay in yuan, the demand for yuan will increase in the market. So if demand for yuan
Yes, ma'am.
increases in the market, the value of the currency will appreciate. It will go on appreciating like anything, right? So this is how essentially the market operates in terms of dealing with exchange rate. Fundamentally, could you get an idea? This was a small simulation. Through this, I think we can capture multiple factors, which right now I will take up further as of how is the exchange rate determined. So when we are talking about determination of exchange rate, this is nothing but this is essentially looking into all those factors which is determining exchange rate. So be it inflation, be it interest rate, be it borrowings, be it the political stability, economic performance, the terms of trade, current account deficit, inflation, recession. So these are some of the factors which you can see, some of the factors I have not included. Why? Because these are the major factors. But apart from that, you can have also other factors which affects exchange rate. While explaining the graph, I had clearly mentioned about all those, what could be the other factors. So from that, you can make a clear case of understanding. So now what could be the other factors? Shubhra, what is the question?
Ma'am, as we like in the previous website, we saw that euro has a higher value than US dollars, but US dollars is the like universal like
That is what now basically worldwide one currency by till now, even if other currencies are powerful, but US dollar was concerned as a standard unit of exchange. It is considered as a base, right? So why? Because it was one of the currency which was least volatile in the market. So when you consider one currency as a base currency, there are certain conditions. Either it is pound or it is euro or it is dollar. These three currencies has been consistently less volatile over a certain period of time. So looking into that, worldwide, it has been universally accepted as a form of base currencies. So usually we used to trade. China ka kya? China ka, it has over the time, due to its strategies, due to its known politics of knowing initially when China entered the market, it devalued its currency. Devaluation and depreciation are completely different. Devaluation knowingly, deliberately, it had kept the value of the currency low so that it can get a leader in the world market, right? So these are essentially some of the criterias which are determining your exchange rate. So that is the reason why we basically concern these three currencies as a base currencies when you are dealing with, or when we are dealing with certain kind of trade. And that is one of the reasons why US currency has been appreciating, because for a long period of time, the kind of exchanges or the trade, that is why is a very, very essential reason in order to maintain or determine your exchange rate. So now we'll touch upon, yes.
From the countries who were under dictatorship, like North Korea, and earlier Pakistan was in dictatorship. So what happened to their currency? Like they also devalued.
Pakistan ka to fixed exchange rate follow करते हैं ना. See, I will go through three standards, golden standard practices, which country resorts to while dealing with exchange rate. Broadly, there are three categories. One is fixed, another is flexible, third is managed. So there are worldwide, jitne bhi countries dekh rahe ho, they follow any of this one practices. So jaise ki main boli, those countries, those currencies are highly volatile in nature. They are bound to follow a fixed exchange rate pattern. They cannot follow anything else. They have to peg their currency. That is why, because if they are not pegging their currency, their economy will be swindled like anything. इतना और भी लोग को चला जाएगा, because उनके करेंसी के ऊपर किसका भरोसा ही नहीं रहेगा. When my currency gradually, consistently will be going on changing, can anyone have a trust factor with trading with me? They will lose the trust. So how I will regain the trust? I have to regain the trust by maintaining a standard. And I am maintaining the standard by pegging the currency, by fixing the currency. That is why essentially these countries, there are also other countries, so who are bound to follow a fixed exchange rate. But certain countries who are particularly sound in terms of their currency, like India, China, then that of your Australia. So there are certain countries we follow a flexible exchange rate. Flexible in the sense that our currency is not only determined by our government, but also it is also determined, we follow a managed exchange rate. Managed in the sense that our currency is not only determined by the government, but also the market power, the market forces of demand and supply also determines our exchange rate, right? So that is what is a managed exchange rate. But flexible कौन है? जैसे कि US, Canada, Australia, Europe, Germany, these European countries. So they follow a flexible exchange rate, where the currency is completely determined by the market power. It is not determined by the government at all. Their currencies are determined by the market power of demand and supply. So typically, these are the three golden standard rules to which countries they practice in terms of following exchange rate. I will go into that in detail about fixed, flexible, and managed. Clear?
Ma'am,
So,
ma'am, as we know that China has the communist government, so ma'am, China follows fixed or flexible?
China
Type of-
follows a kind of managed exchange rate.
Managed, yes ma'am, managed or flexible?
Managed, because government managed is a combination of both. Managed is actually a combination of fixed and flexible. So the government as well as the market forces also. So market forces, any change in trade balance, any change in country's economic position, COVID crisis. So market will also affect the currency. That is what is a managed one is. Okay. So Yes, what could be essentially other factors apart from those factors which you saw right now in the picture? Any other factors? Any other factors? Other factors क्या है? What could be other factors?
Employment ratio.
Okay, yes, employment scenario of a country. Very good.
Industrial growth of a country.
Yes, industrial growth of a country. Why only industrial? Let us take sectoral growth. Every sector. It is not only industry, agricultural performance, industrial performance, tertiary sector, services growth.
Yes, ma'am.
That causes our CAD, na? Or kya? There can be certain behavioral factors of the people. Right now, lockdown imposition हो गया है. Odisha में तो means already बोल दे कि apart from Saturday, Sunday in few district, Thursday to from this Thursday, last Thursday to Monday, lockdown has imposed. Maharashtra to already 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. lockdown imposed. So what is this? Don't you think it will affect the kind of transactions? So exchange rate is not only limiting within the country, how one country is also affected by the kind of dealings with another countries. So other countries, those who are depending on Maharashtra for whatever reason, right? For whatever transactions, that will also get upsetted. So don't you think it will again cause a change in our exchange rate? This COVID vaccination, this is also a factor affecting exchange rate. There can be some peculiar factors also. So when you do a research, you identify all this factor, then we do a factor analysis. इसमें से कौन सा फैक्टर सबसे ज्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस करता है? उसका कोफिशिएंट वैल्यू एक आता है, पी वैल्यू. कौन सा फैक्टर सबसे लीस्ट अफेक्ट करता है? उसका एक पी वैल्यू आता है. So from that, from all the multiple factors which is affecting exchange rate, we choose few factors and we go through a kind of modeling in order to understand internally that how each of these factors are affecting the exchange rate. Clear? So a beautiful research work or a project work you can work based upon your understanding. I'm ending now with this worksheet. On till now, whatever you have understood, each of these factors I have given with the situation. US tourists love Japan. So what will be the impact on the currency of US and Japan? US government किसका appreciate करेगा? हाँ?
Japan will appreciate.
Japan will increase, currency will increase.
Okay.
Appreciate.
Yes, because when I travel to Japan, I will be spending in Japanese yen. So demand for Japanese yen will increase. So Japanese currency will very good. It will appreciate. US government goes for a tax cut. Can you see this situation? Each of the situation has a factor. First factor is taste and preference, right? Second factor is tax policy. Higher inflation in Japan. Third factor is inflation. Higher interest rate in Japan. Fourth factor is interest rates. Fifth factor is again interest rates. Sixth factor is the trade cycle, either inflationary or recessionary. So all of these factors have been given in the form of a situation. Now you have to complete this table. This is your homework. Come up with an analysis. Why? So I have the answers with me, but now I'm not going to show you the answers. That is why I have put a black mark on all this. So once you solve this, then I will disclose this and you have to come up with your sound reasoning. Okay. So next class will end up with this, with the two theories of exchange rate. That is your another interesting approach, PPP, Here PPP is not partnership, public-private partnership. Here PPP stands for your
Purchasing power.
Yes.
Purchasing power parity.
Purchasing power parity. So how purchasing power parity also act as a very essential factor of exchange rate. Another is your IPR, interest rate parity. How interest rate parity is a very essential factor of expressing exchange rate. Okay. So with that, I'm stopping now in terms of your explanation with dealing with exchange rate.